Well, good morning, everybody. It's Ruth Medlin with the Influencer Community, and I am here today with Kathleen O'Hara, the healthy coach that is she's been kind enough to be interviewed today to find out not her one why, but she's got two whys. So Kathleen, welcome to you.
Well, thank you, Ruth, for inviting me to speak with you. It's my pleasure to be here this morning. And yeah, I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Good. Well, let's get started with just some little background questions. I always like to kind of get a little information, and then we'll let you go ahead and tell us about your two whys.
Sure.
So where did you grow up?
I actually grew up on the East Coast in Maryland, in between what we would consider the Tri-Cities of Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Annapolis. And then I was there the first 40 years of my life and moved here to the Midwest in Cincinnati about 18 years ago.
Oh, okay. Maryland is a lovely state. I like visiting there.
Yeah, I mean, near and dear to my heart. Definitely miss close access to the ocean.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true. And I always like to know this. What was your very first job? What did you do?
Well, you know what? My very first job when I was 16, if we don't count babysitting that I did prior to that, was working at a brand new McDonald's that was built about a mile from my home. So, you know, it couldn't have opened at a better time when you're of an age where you can start working. And so many of my friends just flocked there to get jobs. So we were like the brand opening crew. And I just have like extreme fond memories of that being my first employer.
So you really got in on the ground floor
Yes.
of a new franchise, I'm assuming, and got to help open it up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and learned valuable skills of working with the public and management and teamwork, all of those things.
Yeah. So it was a great first job.
I loved it.
Yeah, cool. I know you have kids. I don't know how many, and tell us a little bit about them.
Sure. I do have 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter in the middle. They're 27, 25, and 21. And they all live here in the Cincinnati area, which is a blessing. My kids went through the Catholic school system here in Cincinnati, and my older 2 went to the University of Dayton. My son is a logistics executive with TQL, which is a home Cincinnati-based company. One of the top employers in the city and best employment places to work. So he loves that. My daughter is an entrepreneur as well. She got a graphic design degree, but started a kids yoga business called Busy Being Kids Yoga, and also has a yoga studio of her own with a business partner that they teach adult classes. It's near the University of Cincinnati, and co-partner with an art curator and have art events once a month, and the studio is filled with beautiful art pieces. And then my youngest is currently working with my brother-in-law in his custom home business, Hunt Custom Homes, and you know, yeah, going down that path and learning some awesome skills working with his uncle.
Wow, I'm impressed about all 3 children, but your daughter. I didn't know about the yoga stuff. That is so cool for kids.
Yes, it's made a great difference. And based on her own, some challenges that she had growing up with attention and so forth, she found yoga as an adult in college, and it made a huge impact on those things improving for her. So she wanted to bring it down to the kid level, and she's just really, yeah, doing a great thing.
That is so cool. Speaking of activities, do you like to exercise, and what do you do for exercise?
Yeah, Great question. Do I like to exercise? I would say yes, but I need like a motivator. So a few years back, and I'm considering implementing this in my life again, I did work with a personal trainer, and I went to a lot of boot camps, flipping tires and throwing medicine balls and pushing football sleds. And, I really loved it, and I got really strong. And then a few years later, I kind of started doing yoga and Pilates more recently. And I love that type. I mean, my daughter kind of encouraged me to try yoga, which I used to think was slow and boring, but it's very therapeutic. And I do love the holistic aspect of it. So yeah, that's usually what I do. And then I do a lot of walking.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you were an avid walker, so that's great.
Yeah, I have a dog that likes to go out.
Oh, that's right. You have a dog that has to walk you sometimes, but yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I need the motivation.
Right, absolutely. So, and if I said, well, what do you do for fun? What would you say?
Well, I love to cook. I love to get together with my friends. Love to listen to, live music. And, I am blessed that my 3 kids like to get together with me too. And, we do some things together when the 4 of our schedules all line up, which gets more challenging as your kids get older.
Yeah, I knew that we had the love of cooking in common. Yeah, that's, people sometimes say, well, that's not what you do for fun, that's what you do for existence. And I'm like, well, but it can be fun too. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do, is to be in the kitchen. So I get you about that. All right, so I know that about a year ago, you decided to become an entrepreneur. And when we were talking about doing this interview last week, you mentioned that you had not one why, but 2 whys. And I found that fascinating, because usually people will center on one thing and really expand on that one thing. So I thought you would be a great source of information for people that are, looking to start an entrepreneurial journey, number one, and to not be afraid to pursue your why or your whys. And I know that it started for you that you had gained a little bit of weight, and you said, you know what, I need something different. So why don't you kick it off from there?
Sure. Okay. Well, I did go through a big life change, which sometimes is the catalyst for many of us to reflect and see, where's our life going to take us. And I realized that at that point, that my life change was a divorce. That if it was going to be, it was going to be up to me. And so during my divorce process, I went back to work full time, first in clothing retail, which is another passion of mine, I should say. Love fashion, and then in banking. And what I found was that neither of those were, while they were great employers, had great medical benefits, I met great people, skills, personal growth, professional growth development. What was most valuable to me at that time was time freedom. And yes, during that period of my life, which was stressful, I did gain back the 25 pounds that I had lost when I mentioned previously that I was working with a personal trainer and doing a bunch of boot camps. So that was very disappointing, was impacting my self-confidence, my energy. I didn't feel good about myself, which didn't allow me to bring my best self to anything else that I was doing in my life, whether it was a personal, friends, kids, work. And so I did come in in contact with a childhood friend from Maryland, that I noticed was posting on Facebook about some transformations that people were having and these amazing recipes that apparently people were able to eat while they were getting to a healthier body. And it piqued my interest, and I reached out to her at the end of 2018. And so we had a conversation. She shared her and her husband's health journey, and I trusted her, and I started in January of 2019. And relatively quickly, because of the holistic approach of this program, you have a health coach who is not your boss or the food police, but a guide and a mentor on your journey, because it's your journey, and they're teaching you how to be empowered to create the life you want. You have a community of like-minded people, because we become like the 5 people we spend the most time with, and they're all focused and working on shifting their mindsets to a positive, more fulfilling life, not just getting to a certain weight on the scale or a size in the fitting room. Because as women, we know that one size 6 is the next size 10, right? It's kind of like a mind game. So whatever size clothes you wear really isn't the focus. It is not the focus. So there's the coach and the community, which give you the support that you need. And then there's structure in some educational materials, because when you come to a point in your life where you really want to make a change, instead of us saying, and often we do say we know what we need to do, and we do for the most part, diet, exercise, we've heard it our whole lives, right? But it's the doing part that is challenging. So having the ability to work on our mindset and the reasons why we're not doing what we know we should do is a critical structure component for lifelong transformation. And then the second structure piece is, of course, a simple to follow nutrition plan that's customized and designed for what the individual needs for the goals that they have set for themselves. So particularly as we become adults and we're at a point in our lives where, we're moving into the second half, the golden years, if you will, but it doesn't even matter where you are. You're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Having support and structure and habit installation so that you just do things unconsciously without even thinking is the best way for sustainable transformation.
And so I know that you followed the program, and within, I don't know, several months that you had reached your goal, and you were so enthusiastic about the program that you had followed that you decided to become a health coach yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And the reason for that, okay, so yes, my first why was totally me-centered, me-centric. I want to feel better. I want to look better. All that, me. And I wanted to make sure it was the right thing for me, because I had done something previous to this for 6 months and it just wasn't the right program. I'm not saying it's not the right program for somebody else, but it wasn't the right one for me. Mm-hmm. So this turned out to be the right thing for me. And I felt so great about myself. And I did lose 25 pounds in probably 4 months. I never profess what or how quickly people will lose weight. Some people lose that kind of weight sooner. It's all individual. We stay in our own lane, don't compare, thief of joy, just your journey. So when I realized how passionate I was about what this did for me, I just wanted to shout it from the rooftops and share it with everyone, because I felt like, and my coaches shared this with me as well, that there are other people out there who wish they could find something that would allow them to lose 5 or 7 or 10 pounds in a week, and then 1 to 3 pounds a week after that, which is possible. So yeah, I started with a couple close friends, which is how most entrepreneurial ventures start. Your circle starts with the closest people to you. And then it evolves from there, either through the beauty of social media in meeting and reaching out to people we don't currently know personally, possibly, or referrals from your clients. And then those people too, not all, but some have had the same experience as me in wanting to share it. And so therefore the ripple effect and the support of the overall mission, which is to get the world healthy, one person at a time, one healthy habit at a time, begins to comes into fruition. Yeah.
Well, and you know, it was almost like the perfect storm for you, Kathleen, because you had gone through a divorce and you were back out in the work world, and you know, you realized that working for someone else was their time, not your time. And so you wanted to be more conscious of your own time. And then you decide to lose weight, you decide to join this healthy coaching program, and entrepreneurship just kind of happened for you.
Yeah. Well, you know, previously in my married life and when my kids were younger, um, I was an independent consultant for a skincare company for about 9 years. So, you know, I was from that, and then every other work experience. I believe, and I see now more clearly, that every experience in our life teaches us something and prepares us for what we know not yet is to come. And it is only in that moment when it arrives, like this opportunity, that I realize the value of what I learned at the bank, what I learned in management in fashion retail, and all of it, you know, enables you and empowers you to know that you have everything you need right inside of you already. You just have to tap into it.
It's kind of like building blocks, you know, from every experience that you have, you build on to your foundation, and then, you know, the next experience you build on and you build on. And it also reminds me of like riding a bicycle, because the experiences that you have, you never really forget. Good,
Yeah.
bad, or indifferent experiences, you never really forget those. And so by the time that everything kind of converged for you about a year ago, you were absolutely ready to become an entrepreneur again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm not going to say anybody who is an entrepreneur knows that it's not for the faint of heart. I mean,
Right.
you have to work and you have to be consistent, and you have to be patient sometimes. And particularly when you're, in my opinion, um, wanting to attract and partner with people that are doing something as critical as improving their own health, uh, you do need to be patient. But for me, the reward of doing your own business, being an entrepreneur, is just what we mentioned earlier. You work hard, but you work on your time and for your goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we can fast forward that to now, and you're a year into it, and how are you feeling about everything? How is it rolling for you these days?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I have an amazing mentorship line that is available to tap into their wisdom, um, share successes, not just my direct mentorship line, but other coaches that have been doing this for 5 to 10 years. I could not ask for a better community of people that are supportive and positive and cheering every single person to learn and grow and become the best version of themselves. I mean, who wouldn't want to be part of that? So, um, yeah, 1 year in, I'm building a team of people I couldn't be happier and more proud of. And here's the other thing. I do want to help as many people as I can, and I can, as one person, only help so many. So therefore, I do need people to help and help the people that are in their sphere of influence. Um, but I forget. I just kind of lost my train of thought for the first moment there.
That's all right.
Post 50 brain. I just know that everything that has been shared with me, consistency plus time equals success. And I'm patient and impatient at the same time, because I know what I was going to say. People can help if they decide they want to do this health coaching and they want to earn a little extra money on the side. After this pandemic, a number of things have happened. People have either lost their job. People are either considering, do I want to go back to that job that I had? Or they're not going back to their physical box office location, perhaps, and they're going to be working from home, and that's different. And so if they, for whatever reason, want to have a heart to help others, this is an excellent way to help 5 people or help 50 people or help 1,000 people. It's whatever you want. I have a client who just recently, in the last couple of weeks, has decided to, like I like to say, pay this forward to others. She has 2 young boys. She's a single mom. And what she said last night when we had a mentorship call with her as to what she would like this to be for her. We don't want to project on anyone what it will be or should be. It's them, just like their health journey. And she said she wants to be able to pay for her son's college. So that gives me a framework for how I'm going to partner with her and guide her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you are just the most delightful person. I knew when I met you last fall that I just really, really liked and admired you. And that's why I really wanted you to do one of our interviews for the influencer community, because I see you as a health coach influencer yourself. And, one of the influencer community taglines is "Together we're stronger." And I think that just what you said a few minutes ago about, you can't help, you can help as many people as you can help, but, that is not infinite, that's finite, because we only know so many people. So being able to build a team and being able to be share in community and something that's positive and healthy and gives you the flexibility that you want and need just sounds like it is really the perfect job for you at this stage.
Absolutely. You just summarized it perfectly, Ruth. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, tell us before we end, tell us how we can reach you if people are interested, they want to know more about maybe they want to lose a little weight, or maybe they want to talk about how to be a health coach. What can they do to reach you?
Well, I am on Facebook, Kathleen O'Hara. I have a public page, so they could just search my name and find me there.
All right.
They could message me through Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
They could call me directly. My number is 513-885-4358.
Excellent. Okay, well, there's a couple ways to reach you then. So great. Well, I want to take the time again to say thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me. You are just a delight, and I share it in your weight loss journey and your entrepreneurial journey. I think you're doing a fabulous job, and I'm here to root you on. So thanks again for doing this for us.
Well, Ruth, I'm a believer in the tagline of better together, and I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. We'll talk again soon.
Okay,
Thanks, Kathleen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.